Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that might change the way you look at your life forever. You see, for years I thought my life would change when my circumstances changed. I thought if the economy got better, I'd get better. If my boss promoted me, I'd finally rise. If my luck improved, my future would open up. But then one quiet evening, I discovered something so profound, it shook me right down to my core. Your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. Now that's worth writing down. Don't wait for the weather. Don't wait for the government. Don't wait for luck. Wait for discipline, because discipline will change your destiny faster than luck ever could. You know, people often come to me and say, Jim, I want to change my life. I want to make more money. I want to get healthier. I want to build confidence. I want to be free. And I always smile and ask, oh, wonderful. Tell me, which habit have you decided to start with? And they stare at me blankly, as if I've just asked for the secret code to the universe. They've read the books, listened to the podcasts, made long to-do lists, but they haven't started anything yet. You see, most people don't fail because they lack desire. They fail because they lack direction. They're busy chasing everything instead of mastering something. Let me tell you the truth about change. It doesn't come all at once. It comes from small hinges that swing big doors. You don't have to overhaul your whole life to begin. You just have to start with one small, meaningful, deliberate change that matters. I remember a time in my 20s. I was broke. I was behind on rent. I was eating bologna sandwiches 3 times a day, and I was telling myself stories about why I couldn't get ahead. My mentor, Earl Schoaf, sat me down and said, Jim, you don't have to change everything, just one thing. One habit that you can control that will start to prove to yourself that you're capable of keeping your word. That day, I picked one small habit, reading for 30 minutes before bed. That's it. No big fireworks, no life overhaul. But you know what? That single decision planted a seed. Because every time I opened that book, I told my mind that Jim Rohn keeps his promises. And over time, that simple reading habit grew roots. From 30 minutes, it became an hour. From reading, I started journaling. From journaling, I started setting goals. And before long, my entire identity started to shift. You see, success is not something you chase. Success is something you attract by the person you become. And becoming begins with a single habit done well. Let me give you one of my favorite principles. Don't start with a marathon. Start with a morning walk, because what you can't sustain won't serve you. Most people get inspired. They go to a seminar, read a book, or hear a speech, and they say, that's it. I'm changing everything tonight. They make 15 resolutions, change their diet, write 10 goals, promise to wake up at 5 a.m., and by Wednesday they're burned out, discouraged, and right back where they started. That's not discipline. That's disaster. Discipline is not doing everything at once. Discipline is doing the right thing long enough for it to matter. So let's start simple. You don't need 10 new habits. You need one done 10 times. Because here's the truth. Consistency beats intensity every single time. I often say to my audiences, if you want to build confidence, don't start by moving mountains. Start by keeping small promises. Why? Because confidence is self-trust, and self-trust is built one promise at a time. Think of it like this. Every time you say you'll do something and you follow through, you make a deposit in your confidence bank. You build credit with yourself. And the higher your balance, the more you can risk, the bigger you can dream. But when you break promises to yourself, when you say you'll wake up early, but you hit snooze, when you say you'll start saving, but you spend impulsively, you make a withdrawal. And if you keep withdrawing long enough, eventually your account goes bankrupt. And a bankrupt self-belief system is the root of mediocrity. Let me tell you something important. Your first victory isn't over the world, it's over yourself. The first habit that will change your life isn't reading or exercise or budgeting. It's showing up for yourself. That's the foundation. You see, I once knew a young man who wanted to become a millionaire. He said, Jim, I'll do anything to get rich. And I said, good. Then start saving $10 a week. He laughed. $10? That's nothing. And I said, if $10 is nothing, then you should have plenty to save. You see, it wasn't about the amount. It was about the habit. Because if you can't discipline yourself to manage a little, you'll never manage a lot. The Bible says, he who is faithful in little will be faithful in much. The habit builds the character, and the character builds the wealth. That's how you become financially free. Not by waiting for a miracle, but by practicing small disciplines daily. Let me remind you, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. You can't see either one in a week, but after a few years, they show up like night and day. Now, I want to paint a picture for you. Imagine you decide to start one small habit today. Maybe it's journaling 5 minutes before bed, or drinking more water, or saving the first 5% of every dollar you earn. For the first few days, it feels small. You might even doubt it. But after a week, you notice you're remembering things better. After a month, you're thinking clearer. After 6 months, you've built discipline. And after a year, you look back and realize that small decisions started the biggest transformation of your life. That's the power of one habit that matters. Let me share a little story. I met a man at one of my seminars years ago, a salesman named Mark. He told me, Jim, I've read every self-help book, I've watched every motivational video, but I can't seem to stick to anything. I asked him, Mark, what's one thing you've done consistently for more than 7 days? He said, nothing. So I said, then that's where you start. Not with 10 habits, not with a vision board. Start with one thing you can do for 7 days straight. He said, all right, I'll wake up 30 minutes earlier. And he did, for 7 days straight. Then he did it for 14, then 30. And within 6 months, that small decision became a new identity. He didn't just see himself as trying to improve. He became a disciplined man. That one habit changed everything else, his productivity, his health, his finances. Because when you change you, everything changes. Write this down. The greatest reward for becoming a millionaire isn't the money. It's the person you had to become to earn it. It's the same with habits. The real reward of 1 week of discipline isn't the results, it's the identity you build. You start believing in your own power again. You stop saying, I wish I could. You start saying, I know I can. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one habit, not 10, not 5. One, something small, specific, meaningful. Maybe it's reading 10 pages a day. Maybe it's taking a 20-minute walk. Maybe it's writing down your goals every morning. Do it for 7 days. Don't skip. Don't negotiate. Don't wait until you feel like it. Just do it. Because discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks what you value. At the end of the week, you'll feel something shift. You'll realize, hey, I kept my promise. That little spark of pride, that's self-belief being reborn. And once that belief takes root, you become unstoppable. Because the same mind that doubted can now decide. The same person who once procrastinated now produces. Remember, my friends, success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. The difference between the two is direction. Start with one habit that matters. Make it small enough to start and meaningful enough to finish. Do it for a week. You'll feel the shift. Because your life changes the moment you make. And keep a promise to yourself.